Making a joyful noise in the Philippines is the National Women's Missionary Auxiliary Mission Project for 2015 and 16. The purpose of the project is to raise funds for both physical and academic improvements for the Baptist Missionary Association Bible College, BMABC, which is located in Sile City on the island of Negros Occidental. The college was established in 1976 to train and equip young Filipino pastors and Christian workers to serve their Savior. God has used Brother Doyle Moore, president and founder of the school, to enlarge the scope of Filipino involvement in fulfilling the Great Commission in nations such as Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Malaysia, Indonesia, and China. Now the college enrolls students from these countries on a regular basis. Most return to their birth country to share the gospel. Others are going as overseas Filipino workers, taking on the role as working pastors, missionaries, church workers, musicians, and disciple makers to many countries around the world, especially creative access nations. Pray that God will grant health, protection from satanic forces, and courage to continue to shine the light of the gospel throughout Southeast Asia. As alumni go out as overseas Filipino workers, they risk personal safety as they proclaim the good news of the death, burial, and resurrection of our Savior throughout Southeast Asia. While we cannot control their respective fields of service, we now have an opportunity to improve their learning environment while they are training at BMABC. BMABC leadership has done a phenomenal job with the campus as well as course offerings with very limited resources. They have made wise investments and have worked tirelessly to make every dollar stretch to the maximum. As in many other institutions, needs exceed resources to fill them. Budget cuts, inflation, and program needs have pushed some physical needs around the campus to the bottom of the list of priorities for far too long. Upgrading bathrooms, replacing broken windows, and rewiring outdated electrical wiring aren't mere fluff. They're necessities. Here in the States, none of us would think of using a restroom or stepping into a shower in this state of disrepair. When left undone, needed repairs grow in cost and intensity as time goes on. Our financial support toward these much-needed renovations will demonstrate to BMABC students our appreciation to them for their work they are now doing and the work they will continue to do after they complete their degree program. The college is to be commended for getting its degree program in church music officially recognized by the Philippine Department of Education. As church workers, we know music is the life of the church. It's been said, as the music goes, so goes the preaching. That may or may not be true, but it is true that music is often the drawing card that entices people into our churches. In order for churches to have good music programs, leaders have to be trained. Music students have to have practice rooms and instruments to develop their talents. No one has ever learned to play an instrument without access to that instrument. Added practice rooms and instruments are essential for the growing demand in the BMABC music department. The demand for workers far exceeds the number of trained available workers. Listen as Doug and Diane Lee share enrollment information in the various departments.
Because of the efforts and courage of our graduates, we now have students from these countries that are enrolling in the Bible College. They come to learn so that they can go back to their home country and evangelize, just as we are doing in the Philippines right now.
We have 3 departments at the school, and they are theology, with the emphasis on church planning and also missions. Also, we have the Department of Religious Education and our music department. Our graduating class this year consisted of 18 students, 6 theology graduates, 8 in religious education, and 4 with a bachelor in church music. So we had a total of 69 students enrolled, and we're looking for even a larger number this coming school year.
Many of our Filipino and Asian workers and pastors pass through the gates of the Bible College. They leave to serve faithful wherever God leads them.
In closing, you may be wondering how or when you can make a contribution. You may give in 2 ways. First, by purchasing a CD featuring Doug and Diane Lee and the BMABC singers. The CDs are $15 each. $10 of each sale will go directly into the Making a Joyful Noise project. CDs will be available at state and district WMA meetings. Second, by sending an offering designated to Making a Joyful Noise to Pat Duncan, Post Office Box 30, Hardy, Arkansas 72542. May God bless each of you as you strive to fulfill your personal responsibility of carrying the gospel to your family, your community, and the world.